Hey,
Good
good morning. Can you
morning.
hear me?
I can.
Okay.
Can, can you hear me?
As I told you, I can. As I told you, I've been frantically looking for my damn headset this morning. Don't know where the hell it went. Last time I had it, I guess was Howard's show Thursday night. So I know we did not have it Sunday. So I was looking for it.
Hmm.
Anyway, good morning. How is everybody?
Look, when you
Um,
start losing stuff, that's usually when it's time to leave an offering for the fae and the fairies outside.
yeah, and that's, after our Sunday and stuff, I figure it's, I need
Yeah,
to make some. I need to get
offerings.
my guardians
You need to get your
working
shit together.
for me. Yeah, I need to get my guardians working for me. I'm trying to adjust my camera here, so
I am
hopefully
out of sugar, so I could not make coffee this morning. I'm very salty about it. Very, very salty about it. But I've decided that
keep
means
some of this
that
around. You don't need sugar.
I have decided that means I get a morning smoke. So
Good morning, Judy.
yeah, hello.
I had to feed cats this morning too. That's a
Yep.
never ending now with these ferals.
Well, mine are not feral, but you would think they were when they have an empty bowl.
Right, right. So I guess we should take a few minutes to share because I did put this on our YouTube channel instead of in Skeleton Key. So
Hmm.
give us just a few minutes to share out. We've got some loyal listeners who are in Facebook jail that can't get on our show, and so we made the decision. I made the announcement yesterday that we were going to start on Friday, but I thought the morning show would be a good little trial run to make sure we're up and running where we're supposed to be. So I need to.
I am grabbing the YouTube link now.
Okay, I was going to say that's where I'm always struggle is getting that YouTube link. And y'all, excuse me, I'm going to mute for a second. I've got to blow my nose, and it's allergy season.
Yeah, so how is everyone this morning? Is it a decent morning for y'all? I think we're supposed to get some storms here tonight.
Yeah, that's what caught that last night when I got home from class was we're supposed to prepare for storms today.
Yep.
Which, springtime in Alabama, that's always a thing, isn't it?
Tornado season.
Yeah,
We
we
start getting our cold
in
fronts smacked by the hot fronts, and they get together and make an illegitimate baby and throw tornadoes at us.
right, right, and that's a pretty good
Essentially.
analogy. Yeah, that's a pretty good analogy of it, Jess. Galveston. So thank you for joining us from Galveston this morning. And yeah, usually, Judy, if y'all are getting it over there, it's just a matter of hours before we get it over here. So, um, we really didn't have much to talk about this morning. We talked about it yesterday. Uh, we didn't have crap to talk about this morning, but that's the beauty of Cauldrons and Coffee is we don't have to talk about anything. We're just here. So I
All
got
right.
my
I've got
jelly
a I've got
jelly
our
beans
YouTube
coffee cup in
nice.
celebration of Easter. And other in our world, Jesus is a zombie day. I know people don't like when I say things like that, but
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and warn y'all that we typically we do make a lot of religious jokes, and it's not not meant to be hurtful, and it's not even to say we agree with all of it, but
now we just kind of, you in today's world, you gotta laugh where you can laugh. And looks like we lost a viewer with the Jesus is a zombie.
It
So
could be
there we
worse.
go.
I found a meme yesterday and sent it to my friends that said, "I want to give thanks to Judas for the upcoming long weekend," and I think that's more blasphemous. I sent it anyway
Yeah,
because it was funny.
hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. So, I apologize. I am choking on my own fluids this morning. Of course, like I sent you the message last night and said, fuck. Well,
Yep.
it's Wednesday morning, but basically, F, I had coffee, a witch's brew, not even just coffee. I had, or not a witch's, a wicked, which if you've ever been to Books, Beans, and Candles in Birmingham, Alabama, and had any of their coffee products, it's cracking a cup.
Hmm.
So at midnight, I'm laying there going, oh my God, we've got a show. I've got to be up in like 5.5 hours to get ready. And, oh, sorry, y'all. Um, and here I am all cracked out laying in the bed scrolling Facebook.
It happens. It happens. You ended up making
So
it.
there would definitely, yes, there would definitely be coffee in my life today. I ended up making it because once I finally did fall asleep, you know how it is when you fall asleep and you're still awake, like you can hear everything going on in the room around you.
Yeah.
That was my sleep. That was that wicked keeping me wired even in my sleep.
No, thank you.
So,
No, thank you.
um, we'll do a little plug-in of our upcoming Friday show on Witchy Whims. We'll be talking to Chris Harmon from Wasp, and let me pull up the proper name of his paranormal group so I don't screw that up. Um,
Better
Chris
you
is a
than me.
very Chris is a very interesting guy. He's got some really interesting theories. He was a referee with pro wrestling. He loves music and video games. On top of all this paranormal stuff that he does. So, really interesting guy. And his team, waiting on my phone here, y'all, and I may have to step off camera and go get another tissue to blow my nose, like really blow my nose. So he is one of the co-founders of Western Association for the Science of the Paranormal, um, also known as WASP. And Chris is a family man. He's married, got 4 children. I mean, Chris has got a pretty interesting life, and he's got some interesting theories about the boogeyman and the monsters in the kids' closets. And as our team, um, formerly known as Southern Paranormal Inspection Research Investigation Team, we are now Scientific Paranormal Research or Investigation Research Investigation Team. Inspection, God Almighty. Let me try that again. Scientific Paranormal Inspection Research Investigation Team, otherwise known as SPIRIT. Um, you got some major background noise that just picked up there, Jess. What happened?
I had to switch where something was plugged in at, and I didn't think about the fact that one of the things I unplugged was my headset. Well, let me double check, make sure it switched back to the right mic. It did not. That's what it is.
Yeah, because we just got loads of background noise. Yes, that's better.
I did not realize it switched mics. My bad.
So, but yeah, anyway, as I was saying about our team, we are always, always ready to work, especially if it's a legit scientific study. We are always ready to jump on board with any other team that will allow us, to participate in these studies. Because at the end of the day, that is the goal of Spirit, is to be part of the scientific studies of paranormal, that one day maybe paranormal will not be paranormal. It'll be normal. We won't be having these conversations of, is it real? People won't be questioning, is my house haunted? They'll just know. They'll just know because it won't be, we'll have so much scientific evidence. That's our goal anyway. And I feel like Chris, I don't want to speak for him and his team, but from what I've researched on them, it seems like that they're right up there along with our goals too. So when he talked about this monster under the bed and boogeyman in the closet, and we won't get too deep into it here because that's our Friday show. But I was like, that is so interesting. We've got to get on board with that. And so, as you know, Jess, I had class last night, and one of our other team members is, in that class as well. Well, actually, a couple of them. But so we were talking about this theory, and they said, very interesting that they had some experiences as children that they still remembered very clearly. And I asked them to put it in writing and give it to us, so we can put that with our our research. You
My drink
okay
went
over there?
my drink went down the wrong pipe.
We're really all struggling this morning. We've got
It took
mucus
everything
and
I had to get clicked over here so I could mute. And I'm sitting here feeling like I'm fixing to eject my entire lungs.
so, and then also yesterday we had another little situation come up. If you've watched us previously and seen where I hate to say the word hex, it's not a hex, it's a trap. Trap. We did a ritual, a spell, whatever you want to call it, working to shut someone's mouth that was attacking someone we love. So apparently, this is happening again. Not the same people, not the same situation, but a situation has arisen again. And I guess this is the season for rising.
Apparently.
So, with that being said, I think Sunday night that Jess and I are bringing the, and I say this just because of the trouble we had before, the hexing ritual we're bringing to Paranormal United Network and Prometheus Network Sunday night on Unlocked and Uncensored. So, if someone is screwing with you, screwing with your family, they're running their mouth, they won't keep their mouth off of y'all, join us Sunday night and we're going to teach y'all how to put a bad taste in their mouth. It's really not harming them, it's not making them sick. Well, I guess it could if they talk enough about you and they continue to taste the shit, as we'll say. I guess they could get sick, but it won't be because we poisoned anybody or anything like that. It's going to be, we're just going to put a bad taste in some people's mouths for
Well,
running their mouths.
basically, we're trying to get them to shut their mouths, essentially.
Right.
Stop running their
So,
mouths.
and you just sometimes put a bad taste in their mouth, and that's all it takes. They go talking about you or about the subject or whatever a couple of times, they figure out, oh, every time I talk about that, I get this horrible taste in my mouth. Hopefully they figure it out and shut up. If they're stupid and they don't, then
Might
I
make
guess
their
that's
tummy
on them.
upset.
Right, right. They might have some, diarrhea, maybe a little nausea, but it would be nothing that we did. Or no ingredient that we added to make them sick. We just put a bad taste in their mouth. And I am gonna have to step off for a minute, Jess, and go grab some tissue and blow my nose. Otherwise, I'm gonna be sucking snot. Like, excuse me, y'all. I
Okay,
know that's
go ahead.
gross, but it's allergy season.
That it is. That it is. All right. Well, next week we're gonna have some new things to announce to you guys. We're actually gonna have a bit of a kind of marathon series that will be on at our regular times on Prometheus and Paranormal United Network. On our own page, we will actually be going pretty fairly a fair few times next week. So we'll have that to announce to you guys soon. Um, Other than that, yeah, how has y'all's week been going so far? It's Hump Day. How's the week shaped up for you? Anybody got anything awesome coming up? I have got. Oh, there she comes. I have got some repotting to do, and oh, there's Terry. Are you back?
I'm back. I guess I should
She's back.
unmute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do we have anybody watching? Nobody's watching from my end. It shows zero
Mm.
viewers.
We had some there for a minute, but I guess it's just maybe everybody's having a bad week.
I think so. Well, and I know too by not putting us
Oh well,
on
there's Judy
Skeleton
that's
Key
watching
Network.
still.
Oh, okay, Judy. Well, thank you. Well, she is watching through Facebook. I see.
I have got my. I'm not growing vegetables this year. I am. My herbs are coming in beautifully. I've got two that I've already had to take the lid off of their little seedling tray, and I think I've got one more that's gonna have to have the lid taken off. They're taken off really well.
I I have not grown any. Well, I've got my mint, that I planted last year. Actually, I bartered. I can't even take credit for planting it because I actually bartered it. I can't remember what I
Hmm.
ended up trading. Um, but I have like mountain mint, and there's like four different mints they gave me in that
I've got
trade.
mint. I've got mint and peppermint.
I think I've
Uh,
got mint and peppermint. But other than that, I didn't do any kind of vegetables or. I was going to, but we decided that we have enough on our plate with all these home renovations going on.
yeah, we're we're moving this summer, so it's just not feasible to do anything big like that this year.
Speaking of your move this summer, I've thought about it several times, and and Jessie, my daughter, for those of you who don't know, asked me the other day, and I was like, I don't know. Do y'all already have like a place up there? You buying?
My parents actually bought 40 acres in Hamilton, Alabama. Really, really well priced. And they decided the first thing they were going to do is give myself and both of my brothers each 3 acres, ours
Right, right.
to do with as we want. Um, and what we're doing actually is the house that my parents are currently in, that's right next door.
Mm-hmm.
We're putting that in our name, and we're taking over payments, and they're getting something new.
Gotcha. And you did tell me that before.
So,
You did
and
tell
it's
me that.
it is a double wide. I know some people don't like trailers, but it's a nice double wide, and I don't care what I don't care what we live in.
Right,
I think it's
right.
silly, the whole double wide versus house debate. I get the financial side of it, but uh the other sides of it, where it's living in a trailer makes you tacky. I think that's bullshit.
Well, I do too. I mean, hell, I've lived in a trailer more than once in my life, and I think the condensation that goes with that, people people who haven't been in Alabama really don't understand. When I say trailer park, Jess, you've never seen
Oh, yeah,
a
this
trailer
now there
park.
are some that are trailer trash trailer parks,
Right,
absolutely,
right.
but there are some that, like, it looks like a neighborhood. It's single and double
Right.
wides rather than houses.
Well, but like in Davenport, Iowa, where my husband's family is from, you're not like, like here, you can have your own property and you can put a trailer on your own property. In Davenport, in Iowa, you can't do that. If you have a mobile home, it has to be in a mobile home park. So now, when I tell you trailer park, I'm talking trailer parks as big as the city of Vincent. So I think in a lot of areas that is maybe the way it is. That they mobile home trailer parks, that they all go in these mobile home parks. And what people need to understand about Alabama is if you own your own property, you can put a mobile home, a camper, whatever. We do have that freedom. I will say we got a lot of
Well,
fucked
hey,
up politics,
where we
but
currently live now, we're on 14 acres my grandmother owns, and we've got two houses, two double wides, and three campers that have people living in all of them.
right, and that's on my parents' property down on 41. At one time there was two houses and two trailers down there on 8 acres.
Hmm.
So it's we're definitely not talking mobile home parks the way you might see in other areas. So they'll be in a nice home in the country. Just like my daughter just got a very nice home in the country. Now I will say my problem with mobile homes now is the damn price of them. You can, for what people are paying for a mobile home now, um, you can buy a house for it. But it's just the housing market. I know that the houses have gone up so high that people can't afford to buy houses. And if you can't afford to buy it, somebody outbids you before you can get it.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I understand. Like I said, I've been there and done that. When we first moved back to Alabama, we bought a trailer and we lived in that trailer for quite a few years. And um, hey, we
Yeah,
do what we got to
the
do.
one for my parents, it's 4 bedrooms, two bathrooms, and
And they bought it a
living
while
room
ago,
10.
right? So you
It's
weren't
it's
caught
actually
up in
pretty
this high
new.
price, but it's not been since COVID, and the housing market
No,
went
not at all.
astronomical.
Yeah, not at
Yeah.
all.
Good morning, Kimberly. Honey, I'll get my sister-in-law to send me some pictures of like the mobile home park she lives in, and she lives in a very nice, smaller one outside of the city. And Kimberly, I guarantee you, it's probably still way bigger than the mobile home park, because you're in Clanton, aren't you, or down that way somewhere? I don't think there's
Yes,
anything as, these
Kim's
mobile
in
home
Clanton.
parks. Yeah, these mobile home parks are. I mean, just thousands of. I'm not even talking hundreds, thousands of trailers in
Question, by the
these
way, I just had a thought. I just had a thought.
mobile
Have
home
you
parks.
are you following the group Underground Birmingham? They go around and they find those abandoned
Mm-mm.
places all throughout Birmingham. And some of the posts from the last few days, I'm kind of interested to maybe go out there and see if we got anything spooky going on.
Do some. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you'll have to tag me in that group. So, and speaking of spooky, if
I did let
anyone
them know we
interested
had
at
something
her
going
team,
on next week about, I said we had a kind of marathon thing we were doing next week, but I didn't know if we were telling them what it was or if we were waiting.
yeah, we might as well. But we will talk a little bit about our investigation Sunday night that we did live.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
that
That was
was,
interesting, guys. That was very interesting.
and because it was so interesting. Now we do have an energy reader on our team. We call her out for special occasions, and y'all do know her. She's on Prometheus and
Hmm.
she's on Pawn as well. Empress J. Empress J is going to come out and give us a her input Friday. And this is not something we're going to do live, but we will give y'all a rundown of what the Empress says.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah, that's what it would be. That's what Underground Birmingham would kind of be. They're like urban
or
explorers,
Urbexers,
which is
yeah,
what Judy mentioned there.
yeah.
I forgot about
Um,
that word.
and I kind of wanted to take spirit in that, you know, because we all are out in weird places sometimes. Do a little urban
Yeah,
exploring too, and I thought that would be cool because I
as
love
long as we're
taking
not
pictures of
hiking in
old
the woods, I'm
buildings
good.
and
I don't like the woods. That's where all hiking in the woods is like. That's where a lot of horror movies happen. I'm not. I'm not going hiking in the woods. It's just not happening.
trying to find Jason or Michael Myers or anything.
Nope, I'm not.
Um,
Yes, I
I love.
did, Kim. I did send you a message with the link. I sent both you and Terry the link to Underground Birmingham under. I think it's Underground Birmingham, but I could be wrong. It might be Birmingham Underground.
Whatever it is, she sent us the link.
Whatever it is.
So,
This is why I don't get morning smokes, Terry.
so right, right. So also Friday, we not only have Empress J coming out, we have a shaman coming out to walk
Yes,
the property.
yes.
So
That's going to be
nice to
interesting, I
have
think.
contacts. We were talking, everyone that's been on the property as far as investigation, everyone, and I'm talking, let me do the number in my head here. What, 9 to 10 of us over the last year, everyone leave this location. That it's like
Feels
you're,
like we're popping back into reality, like we've been somewhere else. Like in, I don't know how to explain it. Like we were a step to the left of reality.
yeah, yeah, it's like you're in a balloon or something, and you almost feel the pressure release or
Mm.
something when you come off this property.
Kind of like how I imagine an
So we were
airlock
talking about,
feels.
yeah, and an airlock is exactly, excuse me, how I would describe what happened to me in that room that night over there. An
Hmm.
airlock. That's a really good analogy.
Well,
I would say that
and
that's exactly
it doesn't appear that the activity is only at night. There's been activity there during the day and the night.
right.
Um,
Right.
it's just a very odd place, a very odd. Like when we left, not only did I do our little cleansing ritual that we do before we get in our cars, but like as before I pulled out of the driveway, I sat there for a minute and repeated that ritual all over again.
Yeah. It was. Every time we go, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. In some aspects, it wasn't as intense as it's been in the past. I'll say that it's been much more
Yeah,
intense.
it has
But there was a
absolutely.
different feeling about
Yeah,
it.
we've been there when it'll be. Sometimes we'll get more activity, sometimes we'll get less, sometimes we'll get gentler activity, sometimes we get like a little bit
Very
harsher activity.
aggressive. Yeah.
Um, but this was just
All over the place.
like we would sit down in the when I was explaining it to my sister-in-law, it was like we were sitting down in the kitchen living room area, and we'd be getting activity after activity, and then all of a sudden it would just stop. So we would move to another part of the house and so much activity, and then all of a sudden it would just stop.
Right. Well,
It was weird.
was it you that I was saying last night, that we've so much of that activity in the past had been centralized in the kitchen.
Yeah,
And now
it seems more like
we
it's
set up command central in the kitchen, but also, think
that
about some.
finger that ran down between my shoulder blades. That still creeps me out. That was just
Right.
weird.
So, but think about, my dad has done so many changes in that kitchen. Like, some of the earlier activity that we picked up there was uh, cabinet doors opening, drawers
Mm-hmm.
in the kitchen opening, walking across the kitchen floor. Well, now the kitchen is completely gutted. There's
Yep.
no cabinets to open, so maybe, part of that had to do with why they felt the need to touch or, whatever they were doing. Like I told you yesterday, I've done some pretty heavy meditating, and of course I told you what I felt, and
Mm-hmm.
we've discussed it amongst ourselves until we get our second and third opinion, from our shaman and our energy reader. I don't want to put too much out there, other than what you and I have discussed.
Well, and
But
I kind of
it'll
prefer
be
not to.
interesting
Yeah, I don't
to
want to.
feed it, to feed it.
Well, not just like I don't want to influence. I don't want to influence
Right?
anybody
Yeah,
else.
yeah. That's me. That's why I'm saying I don't want to put.
Like once we're done and we're cleansing and it's over, then it doesn't matter if we put all that, all of what our
Right,
feelings were out there.
right. What we
But
suspect, but
I don't want to influence what other people are saying they feel, but I also don't want to feed if that is what it is.
right, right. And we did have a situation that came up on our network where one of our people was just being curious about would we be able to handle this situation, and I know that she was doing it out of concern for us. And yay, good morning, Amanda. I know she was doing it out of concern for us, but she was doing readings on her own without consulting us, letting us know that she was going to do this. And she's not part of the paranormal team. She is part of our, Skeleton Key Network. But so this is, I just want to put this out there as a kind of a friendly reminder. If you know someone on a paranormal team and they're investigating a location and you for some reason think that you want to tap into that energy and see what you can get off of it, I would ask that you refrain from doing that unless you have the permission of the paranormal team, the homeowner, the
Yeah,
the
because
business owner.
even though we don't provoke or anything, we're still disturbing that energy and kind of kicking it up. So
Right,
even though
we're
it's not
sticking the spoon in it and we're
provocation,
stirring it.
right? We're stirring this up, and we don't want anything to latch on and try to be messing with you by you because you're
Right,
feeding it and talking about it.
right. And that's, what I explained, to our friend, that was concerned of, and asking questions in their reading that, especially without us knowing that you're doing that at that time, because number one, we can put up our shields and, of course, I don't want to sit here and sound arrogant and say, Jess and I have contained this energy to this property, because it's not like that at all. But we do go into a ritual, whatever you want to call it. We have a little routine that we do that we we have very, how do I want to say this? We have faith that what we do holds it there to a certain point. It's not going to go out and leech on to anybody on our team.
Yeah.
Or, when we do live streams, it's not going to leech on to anyone watching the live stream. But if you're
But if you're
reading the
out there
location
focusing on it and concentrating on it and
and
reading
we
that
don't, yeah,
location,
we don't know it, then we may have a problem. So, and I'm not talking about just our team and this location. I'm saying in general, if you know someone that's, investigating, it's okay to be inquisitive about it, but don't do any divination.
Yeah,
Don't try it, because then you're opening.
the
It
doorway.
could be a vortex.
Well,
Let's
and
just be real.
you're opening yourself up to that other side, that other realm, the spiritual realm, and if we don't know, we sure can't do nothing to make it not take use of that doorway.
Right, right. So,
I
um,
find it funny. I just pulled my card for the day, and it's the world reversed, which means finish line is within our reach. That we're time to tie up loose ends and get some closure. So I feel like that is talking about the house. So
right,
which was
right,
our plan. We're going to start cleansing it
right.
here very soon.
Yeah. So speaking of that, let's get into what we've
Next
got
week.
coming up next week.
Yes.
We are going to do a Graceland marathon.
This kind
Now,
of will wrap up our investigation of it and start our cleansing because I think we're gonna.
yeah, there's so much stuff still on the property. And that's where all you paranormal fans come in. Do you want the opportunity to purchase something from a haunted house? And we're not talking, we're going to charge hundreds of dollars. We're talking like thrift store prices. You'll have to pay shipping, things like that. But this property is
We got a
still
whole lot, and
loaded with
and
stuff.
if I'm not mistaken, the sheds are still full.
Yes,
And we're
yes.
that's something we're actually going to have that we'll be showing on stream next week because we're going to go during the day, so we're going to be able to actually get into the sheds.
Yeah, we'll be able to get into the sheds and show you all the stuff that's in there. So you'll be able to make bids on it. Like everything starting bid will be 50 cents or $1. Like I said, you'll pay shipping. um, and how we'll handle that, if you buy 50 items, Jess and I will box that shit up as best we can, to get it in the smallest box we can. We'll take it to the post office with your zip code. We'll get a price, and then we'll send you
Or
an
we will
invoice.
also you can choose. Do you want to do first class shipping where you do it by weight,
Right.
or do you just want to do the priority flat rate
Mm-hmm.
priority box? Those are a flat rate for whatever size of box it is.
Right. We might pick up some of those from the post office and take them over there. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say Amanda
Not a
says,
bad
"Oh,
idea.
just fill me up a box," and when my box is full, stop. So
Yeah.
then that way we can label them. So I may even have some around here, but the post office,
Well, they're free to get them anyway, so
yeah.
pick up some of those, and then so we're going to be able to get into the shed. We're going to actually be able to do some touring of the outside because we can't do that at night. We'll be able to take you to the driveway and tell you about the encounter that we had there. Um, we'll actually be able to walk you through exactly where we were.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna ask all of you. We'll probably um maybe put up today. Jess and I will kind of get together and get a plan,
Decide what we're doing each day and what time and all that.
and we'll put up something. And if y'all will share it, and get us as many people. Because let me tell you, when I tell you there are still thousands of items on this property, I mean thousands. There's craft projects, holiday project. Let me flip my camera around here. Can y'all see my front porch is loaded with this crap? Just tell me if y'all can see or if I'm like pointing
Yeah,
at
we
the
can see it.
floor. And this all this stuff here on my table, besides the trash, um, Tip and I went and picked through Graceland last week because I needed some flower pots. I came back with so many damn flower pots, and I mean, and literally
It's not like you won't use them.
we picked all day in two of the buildings. I mean, all day. It took that long to pick. So if you're a thrift store shopper, a yard sale person, you like that picking stuff, we've got some picking for you to do. And I'll tell you that all the proceeds, Jess and I will not get a penny of this. All of it is going towards the restoration of Graceland. When you see some of the stuff that my parents have going on. They spend a lot of money, and I'm not sitting here trying to do a pity thing saying, oh, they're broke now, because they're not. But it'd just be nice to help them get this stuff out of the property, And when my dad bought the property, it was kind of the intention. If we cleaned up all this stuff, we could probably move some of it. And we're not trying to make a fortune. I will tell you my feral cat problem. Mom did say, y'all move some of that stuff, we'll start catching them cats. And so, I mean, it will go. My parents are very giving people when it comes to animals. So we make, some money. Basically, they're not even, when I told them we were going to announce this as, the restoration of Graceland, my mom's like, well, just tell them that it really will go to pets, and because that's really where a lot of their money goes. They donate to the Humane Society. But now we have this feral cat situation down here, so they've agreed to help me because I had a cat rescue guy, and I will not call his name out here, but I really would like to. Told me, yeah, he would help me get these cats fixed, and he would be in contact with me next week. That was last week that he was supposed to get in touch with me, and you know who I'm talking about, Jess. He's been on the fucking news, and I'm salty about this situation because of who he is and the color of his skin, he's getting all this attention. I've been doing this shit for years, and ain't nobody jumping in line handing me. I mean, people are handing him thousands of dollars for an animal sanctuary, you know, and there are some of us that have been out here doing this a lot longer than he has, and we're still paying out of our pockets, So I'm just going to throw that out there to people that sometimes just because people say, oh, yeah, I'm a rescue and I've got this wonderful sanctuary, they're telling people like
I
me,
think I
yeah,
think
I'll
maybe
help you, I'll
I think
help you.
maybe I don't know who it is. You might have to tell me later.
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you in a message right now. Um, in fact, I had gone when he first started this. I had actually taken him and shown him several colonies on 280 that he now feeds. And, he's getting all this news recognition shit. And it's like, I'm salty about it. Can you tell?
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, him saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna take care of this," and not that's really shitty. But the rest of it, at the end of the day, I don't care if he gets fame as long as he
Right, but yeah, don't tell
is
people
feeding
you're
the
gonna help.
cats.
Right, yeah, but don't tell people. I mean, he's taken in thousands, because he's been on the news and stuff so much. Now he's out in public with this van wrapped, with all of his advertisements, and people just walk up to him and hand him checks. He's continuously posting on Facebook that, oh, he just got another $10,000 check. So I know he's got the money to help me with these 20 cats next door. And then the fact that he said he would, and then, now, granted, he might be busy and stuff, but you know what? If I tell somebody I'm going to help them in that situation, I do my best. I don't have cat traps now. I got one cat trap left out of three or four because somebody called and said, hey, can I borrow your cat traps? And I never got them back, you know. But I'm not on Facebook complaining and bitching and saying, hey, I need to raise funds for cat traps or, donations. I handle the shit myself. Now, I did reach out to this person because um, of all the, I do not, with my home renovations and everything with my husband's help, right now, I do not have the funds and I do not have the time to get out there and fundraise like I did 3 or 4 years ago when I was, actively out there catching colonies and doing the trap and return. Now I've got a colony, living basically here on my property that I need to do something with before I have a million kittens. And I reach out to someone like this who I know has got loads of money to do this shit. Yeah, I'll help you. And never heard a word back from him. So I'll quit my rant about that now.
Well, I don't know. I have my two cats, but they're both indoor. We get a stray here and there. We got one that is the twin of my cousin's cat. It's very weird because we have to call and double check that her cat's inside when we see it running around.
Right, right.
Oh,
Um. So anyway, um, with all that, just if you have pets, please fix your damn pets. Don't
and
make
on
them.
top of that, remember that it is kitten season. So if you see boxes, bags that seem to be moving or have something in them, stop. Don't just assume that it's trash. Stop and open
Right.
it because you'll. That's some pretty awful things happen to kittens around this time of year.
Well, and puppies. A
Puppies too, yeah.
few years ago, I was involved in a situation to where I was contacted, and that was when I was really heavy trapping cats. Somebody contacted me because they watched someone dump a dog with 8 puppies on the side of the road. And of course, these puppies were just days old. And of course, I got the mama and the puppies. Yeah, that was our summer of puppies. We had 2 litters of puppies come through that year. And so, yeah, people, fix your animals. If you don't want them, don't just go dump them in the woods. Find a rescue. And, if you can't find a rescue, because I know I've been there and I've done that, you reach out to rescues and they're full. As bad as I hate to say it, the Humane Society is better than just dumping them on the road.
Yep.
At least they have some chance, at the Humane Society.
This
So
is
with
true.
all
This is true.
that, I'll go back to, our auction at Graceland. If you do buy from, anything from the that could be a potentially haunted item if you would like. If you want to make sure that it doesn't have any bad juju attached to it, Jess and I'll be happy to cleanse it
That's it.
before we send it. You
Yep.
know, so that would be something you'd need to let us know during the auction. Hey, I want my stuff cleansed, or I don't want my stuff cleansed. I want to take the risk of it being haunted or not, because some
You
people
just
want
have
that
to let us.
stuff.
Yep. You just gotta let us know. Um. Yeah, we're gonna do some other stuff over there. That's only a small part. It's gonna be a lot of, you know, showing you guys the property and showing you guys different things that different experiences that we've had, different what's in the house. Um, Maybe a little bit of history about it too, because I don't think we've talked a lot about the history behind
Mm-mm.
the house. Just little bits and pieces here and there, like when we've done investigations.
Right.
So we'll have to do that. I think it's going to be a fun week and a nice way to wrap up our investigation of the house. And I think we may start, depending on what the shaman and the energy reader say. We may, one of the days, maybe actually walk y'all through the house as we're doing a smoke cleanse
A
on it. The
mild, yeah,
first
a
of them, a
mild
mild one. Kind of walk you
cleansing.
through what we do, what we say, how it works.
And
Um,
to be honest, we really don't have any kind of script. It's just whatever
no,
falls
whatever
out of your
feels
mouth.
right.
Yeah, you know. Sometimes I can get in there and get very aggressive. Get out, leave. This I I of course we want to wait for our second and third opinions. But I've always felt in the case of this house, if we get aggressive, it's going to become aggressive right back. Which again is why Jess and I, Spirit, we don't generally provoke. And I know, a lot of paranormal teams, investigators, everybody has their own way about them. And we're not knocking what anybody does. It's, everybody has their own thing. For us, we would rather handle it with love and light and
Yep.
a non threatening matter because, when you go in threatening these entities, um, what can happen? I mean, let's just say this entity was the first homeowner. Well, in his opinion, I mean, that is his home, that's his property. So, what happens when somebody comes into your home and is aggressive with you? You're going to become aggressive right back,
Yep.
right back. So, we find handling it with love and trying to explain to them, you are not part of this world anymore. We're going to go to a better place. And, like Jess and I, we've talked about, I've, been meditating on it since Sunday night. And one of the cleansings we did, I'll just say Irondale. I know you weren't on that investigation, but I think you were kind of aware of what we did over
Hmm.
there cleansing it. How I'd left the door open,
Yeah.
from that night until, and I think I'm feeling that we should do that, and I'm even thinking that we might need to say, seven sundown. You have seven sun, or whatever. I don't think it's gonna. There's so much there. I don't feel like we can go in there and say you got till tomorrow at sundown.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
But we'll leave
We're
it,
gonna
give
have to
them
leave that door
time,
open. Yeah.
and hopefully that will, at least some of the energy that's there will go. They will go ahead and go. So, and that's going to make it easier on us when we are cleansing, and moving on
Right.
as well because it's less
Right.
to work with.
Right. Right. And that's, yeah, because we do know there are some things there that want to go. I mean, the helps,
Yeah,
that we
we're
get,
stuck here. We can't
you
get out.
know, right. My little entity that, I potentially brought home from there, I'm also going to work with her. And in fact, I'm probably going to do that this week to maybe try to release her, from this realm
Yeah.
before we mess with anything over that way. We're coming into the full moon, it's Easter, all that good stuff, you know, which, by the way, if you're a Christian witch, this is a really good, powerful full moon for you coming up. I see
The
you got
only
those
thing that
wheels turning.
the only thing that concerns me is Easter, even though, a lot of it is borrowed from pagan
Right,
traditions. However, Easter has, at this point, taken on a life of its own, built its own energy, stands for different things. I
right,
would say on the day of Easter and the night of Easter, I don't think that I would do any sort of working with spirits because at this point, after so long of being, the day Jesus rose from the dead, I think it's not gonna be helpful to
right.
be working with a spirit on a day that really stands for coming back. That would be my own
Well,
thought.
that's true. Yeah, yeah, the whole he is
It's great
risen.
for other things, and
Yeah, the
it is
whole he
definitely
is
powerful for
risen.
other things. Yeah, exactly.
Right, right, right. And as I was saying, if there's any Christian witches watching, this is a very powerful time. I've used Easter energy myself, um, several years ago in charging my witch's bottle, my protection.
Hmm.
I felt it was a very good energy. And I think at that time we also had an eclipse or something going on around the time of
Right.
Easter. So, this is a really good full moon to charge your crystals because, we joke a lot
Charge
about,
your wards, charge your protection amulets,
yeah,
such as necklaces, bracelets,
right.
rings. It's a really,
We
really
joke
good
a
food.
lot about Christianity and Jesus and stuff, but my belief, and I think, Jess and I have discussed this before, is Jesus was a witch. If Jesus walked the earth today and did the things that he did then, he
He'd
would
be
be labeled
considered
a
a witch.
witch. If he would have been born in, or walked the earth in the 1800s, he would have been drowned or stoned as a witch.
Yep.
So with all that being said,
And it's not that we don't believe God exists. We simply don't worship him.
yeah, we don't worship the version of God that King James has put in the Bible is not something we can get on board with.
No.
We're
And
not gonna we're not gonna
regardless,
cover our heads. We're not gonna follow a man.
no.
We just can't get on board with that. But
No.
what I can get on board with is the love that Jesus had. The love that accepting, wanting, to love everyone and accept everyone for what they are. So, with that being said, I'm not going all religious here on us this morning. Just to make the point, this is a really good time to charge your tools with love.
Yeah.
With if you think about the things that Jesus represented, this is a really good time. Now, if you want to charge these tools
For
for
love and
war,
healing
then you
and
don't want to charge in this moon.
no.
you know, this is love and healing and compassion and
Yeah.
acceptance. This would be a
Yep.
great moon
Just
for that.
just because, like I said, just because we don't worship, or I myself, I do not worship the Christian Jesus or the Christian God. I do not work with them. I work with other deities entirely, but I still recognize who Jesus was and what he stood for.
Right, right.
I believe
I
he existed,
don't,
so
for me, I believe Jesus existed. I believe Jesus was a witch. And I won't say worship. I respect. I respect, and it's just like respecting and honoring the work that your doctor does, or
it's kind of like we respect, regardless of what your religion is, we respect you and your religion.
right, right.
We
So,
just have really warped sense of humors on occasion.
not on occasion, all the time. We have
Okay, all the time, but we hide it
we're
sometimes.
sense of humor. Right. Well, we do well hiding it.
And good
We
morning,
don't just
Joanne.
let it
How are
all hang out
you?
there.
We are
Yes,
actually
good morning,
wrapping up,
Joanne.
so you'll have to go back and watch the
Yeah.
live from the beginning later because it is 8:01.
Yeah, so remember, join us next week for Graceland Marathon auction, history. What we're gonna do lots of stuff at Graceland next week. Friday, Witchy
And
Whims.
hang out with us on our other shows. They're all listed in the ticker down below. But this Friday we've got, what was his name? Chad. Oh,
Chris Harmon.
Chris. Chris Harmon.
Chris
I don't know where
Harmon.
I got Chad from. Oh, I
It's
know.
early in the
The show.
because
No, the show he was on. It was Chad.
yeah, it was. That's right. Yeah. So we
That's what it
have
was. So that's going to be
Chris
a really, really
Harmon.
interesting show.
Yeah, from Wasp. Paranormal. Out of Utah. So we appreciate he's going to jump on with us. So,
And
and
then
then
don't
Sunday
forget,
night
Sunday night,
on.
a hexing episode, take 2.
I was just gonna say hexing
Take 2.
episode volume 2.
Yep.
Take 2.
This is the
So with that
remastered
said,
greatest hits edition.
yeah, the remix version. So get your cow tongues or your cow cheek, whatever. If you
Or
got
cheek,
somebody
cheek,
messing,
tongue of whatever animal. Just
yeah, I
make
mean,
sure
if
that
you're a farmer and you can get
it's large
access,
enough.
a mouth part, a
Yeah.
mouth part. You'll need a mouth part, the
All
mouth
right.
that you
Well,
eat with,
yeah.
talk with. I was just things that they will say, you know.
Oh my lord. Anyways, so we will see y'all Friday. Well, I will see y'all tonight on the not the Petri Dish, Paranormal Swamp Talk. Harry
I
will
will
see you
see y'all
tomorrow
tomorrow
night.
night on the Petri Dish.
Yes. And then we'll see you Friday on Witchy Whims and Sunday for the Hexing episode remix.
And if y'all get sick of us all being on all the time, please tell us because we want your feedback.
We might not listen. We might still be on that much, but we would like to know that you feel that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Share the love, share the hate. We need to
We
know.
like it all.
Yeah.
It powers us. We run on spite and caffeine. Y'all have a good day, and we will see y'all later.
Bye, y'all.